Good morning, guys. I'm really having a hard time getting comfy in my chair today for some reason. I woke up a little late today. I had dental work yesterday, and I like how it tricks you because, like, you ever have dental work and then you're like, the numbing stuff goes off. You're like, oh, it's not even gonna hurt as bad as I thought, because that's what the dentist was like. Oh, it's probably gonna hurt. You're gonna be really feeling it when everything wears off. And I was like, oh, okay. And when it wore off, I didn't hurt. And then 6 hours later, every single side of his piece of my face hurt so bad, and they wanted to do more work this morning. I, in fact, canceled and said, we're going to have to let this heal first. But, so I woke up late, and I'm not in it today. I had a rough day emotionally and physically yesterday. I got some stuff going on that I'm not really ready to talk about, but it's not anything serious, just processing. So, and I know to do any kind of processing, I need God. So today I am going to start with the Jesus calling, because I'm pretty sad. And I'm making myself sad about something I don't even really know what's going on yet. So I need to chill and just, find a positive place in that. So it's February 9th. We're going to do Jesus calling first. Seek my face more and more. You are really just beginning your journey of intimacy with me. It is not an easy road, but it is a delightful and privileged way, a treasure hunt. I am the treasure. The glory of my presence glistens and shimmers along the way. Hardships are part of the journey too. I meet them out everywhere so carefully, in just the right dosage, with a tenderness you can hardly imagine. Do not recoil from my afflictions, since they are among my most favorite gifts. Trust me and don't be afraid, for I am your strength and song. I know I'm emotional because every reading makes me want to cry right now. Yeah. So, I definitely needed that. I need to remember that there's a plan for everything, and everything has a plan. And it isn't my job to know what's going to happen 6 months from now. I just need to know what's going to happen today. And to, like, kind of stay. Sometimes it's easier to stay in the small picture instead of trying to see the big picture at first. Right now, I just need to stay in the small picture until I can process everything. So, yeah, just for today. Spiritual principle a day. Also February 9th. I'm way far off. Purpose and responsibility. Groups have come together to form service bodies that help them achieve their primary purpose. Service bodies have formed work groups, boards, and committees to accomplish the tasks that support the groups. In our service bodies, we embrace Tradition 9 when we regularly consider our responsibilities to those we serve. By maintaining H&I panels, hosting recovery events, and furthering NA's reach in other ways through public relation efforts, we make it possible for groups to focus on providing an atmosphere of recovery for members. The purpose of our service bodies is an extension of our group's primary purpose. In our personal recovery, considering the relationship between purpose and responsibility can be helpful too. When we are in a meeting, for example, we might have several reasons for attending. We show up for our own recovery, to carry a message, for coffee or tea, or to see whether the cute person who was their last time came back. Whatever our reason, thinking about a purpose can help us practice responsibility. The meetings exist to create an atmosphere of recovery. So our responsibility in that space is to contribute to that atmosphere, even if the cute person does show up. The same is true for other areas of our lives. Family, work, each has a purpose that may or may not align completely with our own. However, there is usually a fair amount of overlap. We can practice responsibility by attending to that portion or our purpose that aligns with where we are at. We practice responsibility by looking for the overlap in purpose and focusing our energy there. The more we practice, the better we get. Fulfilling my purpose involves being responsible. I will consider my responsibilities in each area of my life and try to act accordingly. Purpose. So I like this reading because so when I first came into NA, I wanted to hold positions, and I did functions, and I held positions, and I couldn't keep up once I got my kids back. And the reality is, okay, so like I talk about it a lot. My partner has 4 kids. I have 4 kids. And so my responsibility is to my home. My service work is to my home and to my job. And I do, you know, sponsorship. But outside of that, like, I don't think it would be responsible. Like, my kids have therapy. I have therapy. Well, I'm starting back on therapy. They have, you know, my kids have a lot of needs, medical appointments. A couple of them are in probation. They have appointments for that. They have, there's just a lot. There's a lot. To run a home with 8 kids is a lot. To run a home with 4 kids is a lot. And, even with 2 people. So, I know that my service positions are very small right now. I used to want them to be big, but it was all for ego. And if I'm running, finding the purpose and the meaning and reasoning behind it, if it's ego, then there's no reason. It should be spiritual based, and spiritually, like, I know right now this is where my service work is to my home, it's to my job, it's to my partner, it's to how I treat people when I am on the street, it's in my everyday living. Sponsorship, even, you know, women on here, you know, women I talk to who go through, you know, not just recovery, like, you know, drug recovery, but like sometimes just moms in general, just being there in that aspect, because my service has broadened and it just looks different. My base is broadened. And so, the things that I thought it was supposed to look like before is definitely not what it is today. And I used to feel a lot of guilt. And every time they announce a service position at a meeting, I'm always feeling guilt because I don't take it. But then I remember, like, how are you going to add that in? And would it be fair to your kids? Because when I first got here, man, I went to every meeting. I went to every function. If it was happening, I was there, right? And it was just like when I was using, like, I was obsessive, and it took over my life. And, I spent more time at the meetings than I did with my kids. And so I had to find balance in that and realize that, like, the reason I come to Narcotics Anonymous was to get my family back and to become a good person and mom and a good human. And it's not responsible to leave my kids at home for every freaking meeting. And be like, I'll be back in an hour. You know, sound familiar? I can't do that every day. So, just finding the balance in that. And I still struggle to find the balance. But I do know today that big positions are not there for me right now. When my kids are grown, I would love to do bigger stuff. I watch certain people in Narcotics Anonymous, and then I watch them glow and get excited about those things. And I want to too eventually. But as for today, this is where my life is at. And that's okay. I may leave some bounds as a mother since I made that choice, and I see it, and so it's worth it. It's definitely worth it, and I don't regret that at all, that decision. So, I'm just gonna do it. You know, those 2 today. I think I'm just feeling a little blah. If you guys have any suggestions or prayers for me, please give them. I am feeling sad today. I am having to make some choices, and I'm not okay with them right now. So, I could use some love and support, and I love you all. And if you guys need anything, please let me know. So, thanks for sharing my morning with me, and I'm glad I did it, even though I didn't want to. I wanted to just say you don't need to this morning, but this has really helped me a lot to continue this, so I'm gonna keep doing it. And yeah, I love you guys, and you have a wonderful Thursday, and message me if you need anything.